This forum does not reflect the official opinion of the Corn Mafia Guild. Rather, it serves as a platform for members and guests to express their individual perspectives and opinions. We hope to create an environment where a variety of topics and conversations can take place, ultimately enriching the experience of our members and guests. We value and respect diverse opinions, and we encourage all to engage in respectful discourse.
Hey-oh.
What's up, Stein?
What's happening, man? Happy Wednesday. Wednesday.
Yep. Last day of school here in my area, so
oh yeah,
beginning of summer.
You finally graduating? What the hell?
Yep. Finally graduating from middle school.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
My son.
It's good to hear you moving up in the fucking world.
Yeah. You know, I'm doing the Billy Madison. I'm going back to school. You know, trying to get educated. I'm going to take over my father's company.
You know,
or this other dick will. I don't know. One of the two.
Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy was a good movie.
Yeah. It's a plot in a lot of movies, I guess.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Back to School. That was a good one, right? He had to go back to school. Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, yeah, he did go back to school.
Yeah, he did. He did go back to school.
Man, it's great to see a lot of familiar faces in here today. We got all the usuals: Eric, Tizzy, Kaz, BG, So, Dolph. Am I wrong? Is Dio new? Is that a new face around here, or is that a new PFP?
I don't know. DOGO.
Welcome,
Dio Gallio. What is that? I can't even read it. Oh, yeah. So what's in the news? You know what I saw in the news? I was watching something on YouTube about Fishcoin.
Fishcoin?
Yeah, man. It was very interesting. Yeah, it's a token, but it I think it's somewhere in Southeast Asia. They use Fishcoin to track the purchase of locally caught fish.
Oh, I see. So like each fish gets like a token associated with it that's got metadata that tells you like when it was caught.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. I had posted it on my Twitter.
Oh, I missed it. All right. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, you know, because this way they get, it's basically, I think they did it with chocolate or they did it with coffee too, if I can remember. Yeah. I saw it like a year ago, but I just, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, are you familiar with VeChain?
VeChain?
Yeah.
No.
So they're another one that's been around for a while. They do like a similar service, but I think it's more broad. You know, they just offer like supply chain logistics to, you know, improve that stuff. So they already work in like China with like Walmart and like a bunch of big brands. I invested in them last bull run, but they just never did anything last run. It'd be interesting to see if they do anything this run, but I already sold my position. They just never went anywhere, even with those big partnerships, at least from when I bought in.
You can't keep selling your positions, man.
You know, I know it's a sickness, really. You know, you think, oh, I'm going to capitalize on that, and then that one runs, and you're holding this bag, and then you want to be in that bag.
I only invest in one thing right now, and I'll call it an investment. Is COPi Tokens.
COPi token, yeah, that's my main play right now too. I mean, I got to get the ADA to get the COPi, and it's a balance, but yeah, COPi's my favorite purchase right now. Absolutely.
I am by far not a financial advisor. And that was not financial advice because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about half the time. But I do know that do what I do. Yeah, don't do what I do. Watch what I do and do the opposite and you'll make yourself a lot of money. But I think COPi's
a bad play.
Well, COPi's so cheap, you know, and it could quiet cat and it could have a good run. So, okay. So it's a couple cents right now because it dropped a little bit. It's like 2.7. I don't know. Last time I looked. Right? And the damn thing was I had a chance to pick it up when it was a penny, right? And then it went up to like 3 something. I could have like, you know, you could have dropped 100,000 into it and grabbed a frickin' $500,000. Right?
Yeah. Well, hindsight's 2020, you know, but yeah.
But I think it's going to go to $1 eventually. And maybe even higher. I don't know. If I buy enough of it and it goes to $1, I may sell it at $1, and maybe that won't even be good. Maybe it'll go $15. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
I just know that if you get a lot of it, like a guy I know who had Bitcoin, and when it went to $1, he's like, "Hey, I can get $10,000 for this shit. So let me sell
I mean,
my 10,000 Bitcoin."
I think it's best to go in with a plan like that. Like you have in mind, like I will sell at $1, and that helps you hold. I feel like to that point. I mean, if it goes past that, it goes past that. But you got to be ready to just accept that eventuality, anyways, right? Because you're never gonna time the top. I mean, like one person might, but it's not gonna be us more than likely. So
Yeah, it's not going to be me.
holding all the way back down again. So I've got my goals in mind that I want to sell at when we hit them, and I'm going to try to stick to that because I think that's what's going to see me do better this next run.
Well,
Uh,
I think if you buy enough and it makes you happy, and then just, if you're satisfied with the amount of money you made off from it, I mean, if you say you put in a couple $1,000 and you're taking out, 50 or 60 or $70,000, I mean, that's pretty damn good investment right there. I
oh
mean,
hell yeah, that could be life changing for some people. Yeah, I
right.
mean that's why I think everyone needs to have their own number, their own goals in mind, just to help them meet those goals. Because one thing I don't do is like I don't beat myself up over these meme coin gains. Like there is no way I would have made that much money off a snack. You always see those FOMO posts where they're like, if you would have put X amount of dollars in the pre-sale and you sold now, you would have made this much. And that's ignoring all those major gains you would have made before that. Like you said, would you have sold at $50,000? Would you have sold at $100,000? Like, would you have ever made it to hundreds of thousands of dollars in valuation before you sold? For me, I wouldn't because uh, my circumstances, I would take a lower amount and be happy.
Right.
I wouldn't hold for that probably.
Let's see what Scruffy has to say today. Is he around? Here he is.
Oh, I am just a fly on the wall.
Smack him.
Various
Incoherent ramblings.
no in investing strategies.
Yeah.
Not advice.
Well,
No,
I'm not an investor.
doing is saying what you're doing. You're not
Exactly.
trying to tell anybody else what to do. I will never tell anybody to do with anything with their money. Right? That's their decision. Everybody has a different pain and pressure points. Everybody has different goals. Everybody has different responsibilities. So I'll give you the broad strokes if you guys care about my strategy. Is I think you have to take some gains along the way at certain points, but you want to still hang on for the moonshot. I agree. I think you set goals of where you think it's going to go, and at certain milestones, you take maybe 5 or 10%, or 15 or 20, or whatever your situation is. So maybe at 25 cents, you take 5%. At $1 or 50 cents, you take another 5%. $1, maybe you take 10%. I'm just throwing random numbers out there. That way, you're still along for the ride. And yeah, when you think the run is getting close to over, it probably is.
Yeah.
um, and so, then at that point, whatever you've got left, if you want to sell the majority or all of it, then that's kind of how I'm approaching the next bull run.
Well, I think that's a good point there too, and I think, like, if I was to sell the COPi and hold on to some, I would be like, I want to take. I don't even really want to have a set percentage in my head. I would just, yeah, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you totally on that. But I think a lot of people, they should take whatever they feel comfortable taking and leaving whatever they feel comfortable losing.
Okay, what if I feel comfortable taking $100 billion?
That's a lot of money.
Well, then I would do that.
Yeah, I'd take the 100 billion. Scruff, just take that 100 billion.
If you sit there and you say, okay, I just made $2 million on this.
Right.
Then you go back and you look and you're like, I could have made 6. That's why again, I believe, and again, this is just what I'm doing. I'm not telling anybody to do this. I believe for me, I go, well, if I took some out a little bit along the way or whatever, and then we got to the end and 6 would have been maxed out. Am I going to get 6? No. But if I had sold and taken out 2 when I was happy with 2, but I would have been more happy with 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Yeah,
playing devil's advocate.
I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. You know, do whatever makes you happy and makes you money. But I'm in a very similar boat where I'd probably parcel it out in 10% or 20%, and I'm gonna try to have a little bit more clear numbers in my head, because things get foggy when you're in the heat of a run. You know what I mean? I saw a really interesting.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that on me?
Yeah, no, that was me. Sorry.
Yesterday, I think, and they were like, what was going through the people's heads that held their BAYC to $400,000 and then carried it back down? They're like, is it mental illness or what? And somebody replied, and they were like, well, you're not thinking about it from the standpoint of a holder. The month before they dropped, they had just given everyone 300,000 tokens for holding an ape. So, I mean, you were just paid out a ton of money. Why would you at that point, have sold? Like, it wouldn't have psychologically made any sense, to the person holding. So that's, in the heat of it, you never know what you're going to be thinking. I've made some bad calls thinking, oh, I know for sure what's about to happen. There's no way. And yeah, I've been blindsided. So,
well, I think we all got a good point. You know what I'm saying? It's oh, sorry, helicopters are landing. I got to get out of here. No.
They found me.
No, it's my ride.
Okay.
I gotta get to the airport. No.
I can give you my exit strategy if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear from someone that knows math.
And please, all we should help together. Once we start sharing screenshots of our gains, or are too happy with our gains and think this is not the end, it's going to the moon, then we're gonna take out the initial ×2 at least. Do we promise on that? Because I didn't do last time. I remember myself sharing screenshots about my gains at another project, but still sharing screenshots. Oh, I have 70,000 euros. Oh, it's going to go to the moon.
Yeah.
And over a weekend, it went down to 5,000.
Yeah, when you stop bragging about it, that's when it's time to pull out.
Yeah.
The euphoria.
Exactly.
Correctly, your strategy is essentially, once you get to a point to where you're so excited you're sharing, you're going to take out what you invested, double what you
×2 or 3.
right,
Yeah.
double or triple what you invested, and let the rest ride, and essentially then you're playing with house money.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
It's risk off after that.
Right. No, good point. Hey, I wanted to. We were talking earlier with Seven Fryler and I. Come on, Kat, you got to be quiet if you're going to sit here. We were talking with Seven, and what was that project that he had mentioned, Fryler?
The Sofiaverse partnership?
Yeah. What do you guys think of that? I want to have some knowledge on this, if anybody has any knowledge.
I'm hoping somebody has a little more knowledge, because I didn't really look it up yet, and I totally wanted to. I just got busy, but I was really excited initially when they announced it, because I knew the game was going to be working on incorporating AI in some way. So I figured, it might be just NPCs that regurgitate more than just the basic 5 lines or something like that. I thought it'd be fairly simple, but I thought that was still going to be a cool touch.
What do you want, an NPC that's going to tell you you're a piece of shit or something?
I mean, it could. I mean,
right?
Why not? Why wouldn't it?
Imagine that. Imagine get into the game and you got an NPC just making you feel like a fucking ass.
That'd be great. No, so in any case, I was really excited to see them partner with such a well-known project in the AI space. So everyone knows Sophia. And so I don't know if anybody knows, but the Sofiaverse is their new blockchain-based virtual world that they're making. So I think it's a really great partnership.
On Metaverse Monday, Jay Crypto's weekly Twitter space.
Jay Crypto.
And they were talking about this Sophiaverse partnership. Basically, yeah, there'll be AI powered NPCs in the game. Also, they were talking about a like a sort of chat bot that when people have questions about cornucopias, they'll have that. They're working on like an AI sort of repository of all knowledge for people to be able to ask. And hopefully in the Discord too, right? And then they were talking about
that may. Will we need moderators in the Discord then?
Well, yeah, you still need moderators because you need to watch everyone's behavior, but this would just be for information. But then also the tasks, like the daily tasks, may be generated by AI, the tasks in the game. And then one thing Josh mentioned that was pretty cool was the music in the game will be able to change based on what's going on. So if it's nice, calm music and you're just walking through the woods and then all of a sudden you get confronted by something, the music will change. It'll know how to change to meet the situation that's going on. So those were some things I wrote down from Metaverse Monday. And then I checked out Sofiaverse for the first time. And it's a huge project and I just can't believe it was never on my radar to begin with. But yeah, pretty impressive stuff. And then I can't imagine all the things they're talking about that they're not sharing, right? But those were some of the topics that they talked about on Monday.
Very cool. I'm wondering if you're walking through the woods and it goes, no.
We're swimming in the water.
Yeah, more like Friday the 13th,
right? I don't feel safe right now. This sucks.
Yeah. No, I think that's so awesome because it's really going to make everything even more immersive, you know? So, well, just the music part alone.
I was going to say, Kaz kind of jumped on a whole bunch of kind of individual topics that I think warrant a little bit of conversation on each one. As far as the AI bots go, I think it's a great partnership. I'm glad that they have somebody else to handle that. I'm not surprised that they're going to have AI bots. I mean, let's face it, pretty much all NPCs in games are some form of AI. It's just what level are they programmed to? I like that they brought in a company that specializes in that. I love the Singularity. They seem to be the big dog on the Cardano chain. Everything I've read about them, they're working on cross chain stuff. They're working on a lot of different tools. It kind of seems fitting that the big dog in the metaverse space is teamed up with the big dog in the AI space. So I think those are definitely phenomenal. As far as the AI aspect goes, and he's right. They mentioned and to me, I think the headline got buried a little bit, but he was talking about AI being possibly integrated into Discord and things like that. But what they said again that I feel kind of got a smidge overlooked is that they were going to plug it into the COPi wiki. And as we know, the COPi wiki is a wealth of knowledge. And in fact, there's so much knowledge there that sometimes it's hard to find what you're looking for. They do have a fairly good search feature, and that's nice. But imagine just being able to go and ask the quote unquote AI questions, and they search that entire wiki and frame it in an easy way to understand and things like that. I think moving forward, as they add more information to it, it's going to become even more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know what I was thinking too when this is a little off the side, but when they were talking in that I think who were they talking to the other day? Dega? Was it Dega? They had a thing, and I was listening to that.
Yeah.
When they mentioned, I was going to ask the question because I saw it I didn't ask it in Dega. I should have, but I saw it on the COPi Cafe that came out after that about the Google Vision Pro. The Apple Vision Pro, and how it's really really a phenomenal piece of machinery and tech. And I can see like VR catching on more in this metaverse too. I know we were talking about AI, but I since we were on acronyms, I figured I'd just move over a little bit. And
In fact, they definitely believe that's going to be a market mover at some point. They kind of mentioned it's a small sector, but anytime Apple does something like that, you just have to look back to the iPod, right? It brought music players to a total another level that we hadn't seen since the Walkman. And then the iPhone came along. And so, it sometimes takes time for adoption, and obviously the price point, not everybody's going to be able to afford right away, but they see the writing on the wall. And I like that they're staying on top of that and forward thinking. And, they mentioned in the past that they were talking about integrating VR. They're still building all the framework for the regular game, but it's good to know that as they develop, that they're keeping those things in mind, and it might make it easier to transition in the future.
Yeah. Well, I was just impressed with I watched the whole keynote on it, and I was just very impressed that is actually not something tethered at all. It is an Apple M2 chip in there with a DI chip or ID or IRRI chip, whatever other chip they have in there to do the other processing. And I was just blown away that's a whole computer right on your face. It's a whole Mac.
Me, though, did it have to be connected to a
battery pack? For weight. Yeah, because you can only get like 2 hours off the battery pack, but the battery pack you can plug in. So, but the whole thing's made out of aluminum, so it's going to be pretty heavy. Once they start making that thing out of lightweight carbon fiber and other lightweight materials, they can probably use freaking titanium. That's even lighter if they need to make mechanical parts. But I don't know. I just think it's a pretty cool thing, and I want to get one, but I'm not going to get the first edition. I never do that. I always wait for I did buy the Mac Mini, but that was just with the M1 chip. That wasn't the first iteration of it, but I think it's going to be pretty cool, man. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. Because now they have that. What is it? They're using that software, Wine or whatever it is called, to get games into Mac's ecosystem, the M1 processors. So I might be able to game on my Mac Studio I got sitting in the other room. I think that's going to be exciting. I might be able to join you boys in the game. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, you're going to be gaming like 1,000 years ahead of us, though, in your virtual goggle suit.
Yeah, with my helmet on, so I don't smash my head on the wall.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so much going on. It's crazy. Like Scruffy said, I mean, we just basically talked over, again, like 8 talking points that all really warrant like their own 1 hour space almost. Like the Singularity partnership, I think, is another really just huge one. Like Scruffy said, they're definitely one of the flagships. So yeah, just so much going on. And as Kaz said, I get even more excited thinking about what is all this stuff that they're just not telling us? You know what I mean? Like, obviously this has been in the works for a while and we just had no idea. And who knows what else is coming down the pike in the future, but I'm sure big things. I won't speculate too much because last time I went crazy with speculation, but I do
working on jetpacks, I'm telling you. No,
man, I hope it's real life and they're cheaper than the Iron Man suit, because the Iron Man suit's like $400,000 or something.
I have a new life goal now. I want to be one of the voices of the NPC in the game, and I think that'd be a cool contest for cornucopias to run
for the community to.
Yeah, like who wants their voice in the game? Like, how cool would that be?
That would be awesome.
Be like some old man on the side of the road that you just read the lines and then your voice is like forever in the game. I think that would be such a cool way to like honor the early members of the community who might be interested in that.
That would be amazing. I think that's a brilliant idea. I hope you drop that in the suggestions in their Discord, because I would love to see that happen. I would even be happy just being like a farmer leaning against a cart going, when people walk by, you know? Like
yeah, just like one line.
Absolutely.
Is it okay I speak now?
No, Kingsley, I added you by accident. Please step down. No, I'm kidding. What's up, Kingsley?
No, I wanted to add about the Sofiaverse partnership, because I think a lot of people missed out the fact that this Sophia will be an integral part of the storyline of Cornucopias now, because she's like an NPC. If you read between the lines, it says Sophia will be an NPC in Cornucopias, and she will play some part in the story. But I don't know, man, whether Dr. Ben is using this as using Cornucopia as a playground to develop Sophia. I guess we have a big part to play and make sure that it's a well-behaved AI. So family friendly first, no swearing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll find that Sophia will have a very big potty mouth, man.
Interesting. So one of the things that I read when I just asked for some talking points from Google this morning, and I weren't sure if they were accurate, so I didn't really bring them up. But one of the things they said is that we'll even be able to, that she'll help us with quests, and that we'll be able to battle her in PvP matches. So I don't know if that's accurate at all, but that's what Google's regurgitating. And then they're also saying that the partnership for Sophia is going to allow them to learn a lot more about how we all as humans interact with each other. So I think the partnership with Cornucopias is going to give them a lot of data too.
Well, you know, AI is a bit like children. So if you teach it bad stuff, it will, try to wipe out all humanity. And what if you teach it the proper moral stuff? Yeah, you teach it proper moral stuff, then it would be a companion of humanity. So I guess the early players of Cornucopias have a very big responsibility to train Sophia.
Yeah,
so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because now we have an AI on board. Now it's no longer just a game anymore. It's something bigger. I feel it's something bigger. Yeah, big stuff, like the fate of entire humanity.
Hopefully, Sophia has an ongoing command to answer everyone like a kindergarten teacher or something, keeping it as PG as possible.
Definitely.
I can see Sophia playing a big part in play to earn. Because AI has all those information databases that we humans, we can't regurgitate out, right? So it could play a big part. They might not be telling us the entire development, and stuff like that right now.
I was going to say, I think it's important to curb our expectations. I think it's good to be excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a wet blanket or anything, but they did mention that, in the beginning, they're still fleshing Sophia out for her own metaverse. And as far as like renting her out, they talked about in the beginning only being able to have, like, I don't know, a couple hours a week where they might have some sort of special event. She comes in and there everybody can have access for 2 or 3 hours or something like that. And yes, I do believe the plans on down the line are to possibly get her in there full time, but again, I think I don't want everybody to be disappointed if the day they launch the game, she's not in there, running all the rest of the bots and in there full time and interacting and things like that.
Yeah, it'd be a bonus if she's full time, but let's temper our expectations.
Yeah, they're gonna start her off on a part-time basis and see how it goes, and then maybe move her full-time with benefits.
Also, Sakura's part-time right now.
Yeah, that's child labor laws for you.
Yeah.
She got to grow up, right? Do we know she's only like a year and a half old? I mean, my God.
No. Well, she's 18.
She's supposed to be 18, yeah, according to the bio.
Which means
is that what they said?
18 when you brought her in the Discord.
They had to make it that just so that she has all of the rights and privileges of an adult.
Yeah.
I certainly don't want to battle I'm sorry. I was saying I certainly don't want to battle an AI-powered opponent, because it can search the whole internet of every battle that's ever taken place in any video game ever, and then just obliterate anyone that fights it.
Freaking Cylons.
I hate Cylons. All right. What else is in the news? What else we got in the news today, Fryler? Anything? Any guys? Anything you guys want to bring up?
I was before we change topics, I was just curious if anybody had again these talking points that Google gave me. I'm not sure how accurate they are, but it was claiming that you'd be able to earn rewards in Cornucopia's game and then also in the Sophiaverse. So I'm wondering, are those entirely separate reward structures, or will there be some synergy between the two different virtual worlds? You know, will we be able to travel between Cornucopias to the Sophiaverse, or will they be kept entirely separate? All speculation, I think, at this point. But if anybody knows if anything was announced on that, that'd be cool.
I didn't know that in Cheeky Crypto they have this Sofiaverse ICO. They do have their own token, I believe. So I wonder how interoperable it is with COPi. You have to see.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think they touched much on that the other day. Like you said, I think everything would be speculative, but one could reasonably assume that anybody that they're going to have a partnership with, they'd like to have some sort of on-chain connection, if at all possible. They've shown us that, as far as they did talk a little more about, rewards and things with Dega. So, I think we can reasonably assume that, yeah, there will be some sort of cross-pollination there. To what level? Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, will be interesting to see those developments as they continue to roll out, for sure.
All right. I just have a question. I just have one question. This Dega project, right? I'm getting really into it. And I want to know, are you guys researching it as well?
Yeah, a little bit. Didn't their pool just go live too? So you can delegate to the Dega pool for their ISPO, and then you get a bonus for holding COPi as well, or Meld, right? Or is it WMT? That's Meld, right?
Yeah, it's Meld and COPi, either or.
Thing with Dega is I'm trying to figure out how I can use it, because I understand what it is. It's a tool that, you can develop something on Cardano, right? And so how can that be used? And I think that's the most exciting part. It's sitting here racking my brain going, well, what could we do? Well, I mean, what services could crop up from this game? Because we all know that there's going to be lots of business opportunities, and Dega is going to be right there along helping build those solutions. So I understand to a point what Dega's doing. My problem is I'm trying to figure out how to use it.
Well,
you need to be a game. You need to be a game creator first, right? So you need.
Well, it could be any business, right?
Well, I was going to
be
say,
anything you can do in a custom dome.
You could be a Web 2 creator that had a website that showed all the racing stats.
Exactly.
You could just be a database to offer information. Essentially, as I understand it, anyway, is they're going to create APIs, and we use the racing in the beginning just because we know that's coming relatively soon, and we know there's going to be a lot of data associated with it. But there's going to be all kinds of other things in the game that having access to data is king. Just look, Google made an entire model out of it. So I think it's immensely powerful, and we're just beginning to kind of scratch the surface. But again, Kaz, I know you wanted ideas, but like you said, having in J Crypto, they brought up the obvious, low hanging fruit in the room.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted to make a betting website. You could have that data import, and you could link it to theoretical smart contracts that would release funds depending on who won a race. Again, if you had ongoing season stats, imagine, some sort of weekly cup race where at the end of the season there was some sort of grand championship. I'm sure that, if I don't know if Cornucopias is going to create or host tournament structures. They may leave that to us to do. I don't know. But those are some things that I had kind of initially thought of just with the racing. And God, with everything else they're putting in there, it just boggles the mind at how many things. Data is so important. You can do so many things with it that possibilities are limitless.
Hey, let me ask you, did I see something somewhere that said there was going to be 5 racetracks?
Yeah.
Where was it?
2 or 3 are already complete, right? And then they're got 2 or 3 in a state of being completed.
Where did I see? What did I see that on?
I believe there were 5 tracks listed. I believe 2 of them are complete, and a third one is in final production.
That's awesome. That's a lot of racetracks. Now, I'm wondering, are they going to? Do you think they're going to be like true metaverse, where if somebody's racing on it, you can't race at the time, or do you think it's going to be like another like a regular game? You can start your own racing whenever you want.
I would assume there would have to be many different lobbies in tandem, right? Otherwise, I mean, you would never be able to facilitate all the racers that wanted to come and race at Toledo Valley, you know? You'd be 20 hours behind in the queue.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that.
It's like how Fall Guys do it, right? Different lobbies.
Well, I was gonna say, even in like an area like Solace, they're only going to be able to put so many people into one area before it's going to have to be replicated for a different group of people, right?
Right. Well, yeah, but I was just wondering if it's going to be true metaverse kind of thing, though, where, there's somebody on the track, you guys got to wait in queue,
Is there any metaverse that functions like that, do you think, currently, where it's like, hey, there's no more room in the metaverse right now. There's already 1,000 people in there, so you got to wait.
It's not efficient that way. That's why all those online games have lobbies and servers and split servers.
Again,
otherwise people will get very frustrated.
Yeah, I think for general racing, like daily stuff like that, I don't think it'll be that way. Now, I do think they will have certain contests where maybe only 50 people can enter. And yeah, once that's going on, you can't enter that particular contest. But I would assume you could still just go challenge a buddy to a race or hop in a lobby and get matched with some other people.
I think that's kind of the beauty of the metaverse, right? Is that we're not confined to the same rigid structure that we are here in reality, right? Where we have to exist in a space and there's only so much space. Everything has to stay so just rigid and in stone. It's a lot more fluid in the metaverse, and things can change, and you can have these multiple, rooms in tandem at the same time. So that's a very dumbed down explanation of how technology works.
I was gonna say, Stein, you almost sounded like excited to have it to work that way, like it in the real world. But
you gotta wait in line and shit,
I was gonna say, would you really want to go there and wait 2.5 hours to get on the racetrack?
Well, no, I wasn't.
Everyone taking a taxi from their home bubble. It's like, well, man, I gotta wait.
Well, I was just wondering. I wasn't really excited or disapproving of it. I was just wondering, how it's going to be, because, I have no idea. I have no clue.
I think that's a great point. I think the thing that I got caught up on was you said like a true metaverse experience, and that made me wonder, like, what is a true metaverse? That's why I asked, like, is there anyone that functions like that?
I meant a metaverse true to life. I should have worded it that way. And I apologize about that.
It's a hot science still, right?
I agree. And I'm not sure that I would want one that was true to real life. I mean, 100% true to real life. I mean, I have real life for that, right? Like Fryler mentioned, I think one of the beauties is that you can do things that you can't do in real life. You can drive flying cars, and you can, own hundreds of thousands of acres or plots or this or that, or you can go be a, I don't know. I think part of the allure of the metaverse is being able to do things a little bit differently. I agree. I think keeping them close to real life helps us understand it, helps the learning curve be a little lower. And there are certain things that I think, oh yeah, that's really cool that, yeah, you have to eat food to keep going, and you have a certain amount of energy, and if you don't sleep, then you're not going to function well. And I like some of that, but like you say, man, yeah, waiting in line. Imagine us having a theme park where you got to wait in line for 2-3 hours. Well, no, that's why I don't go to theme parks now. I don't want that shit in the metaverse.
Yeah.
You know,
You got a
yeah,
good point there. Yeah, I was just wondering, because like you pointed out the food and the drink and the sleep and all that stuff. That's like kind of true to life, and that's what I was wondering about. That kind of.
so I think it's going to be interesting to see where do they draw the line, right? Because some of it makes the game more fun and more interesting, but too much would be too cumbersome.
Right.
Or just not make any sense at all. I had a funny imagining of like logging in one day and like your account's just blank and it's like, oh, you had an aneurysm in your sleep last night. Like, what? My character's dead?
Jesus Christ.
Where's my shit? Like, well, nobody knows. Your family came. I think the maid took some of it.
Too realistic.
Oh.
Random diseases in there.
Well, I think one of my friends used to play WoW, and he was like, I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, it takes me like 7 hours to get to the other side." I'm like, "So you just sit here for 7 hours?" "No, I go do stuff."
I have a life, okay, buddy.
It's like, wow, that's
I'm a level 80 paladin.
Yeah, shit. I don't know.
Paladins that Joe plans.
Gotta love them paladins, man. Gotta love them paladins.
Any game.
No, well, it's a good name. Come on.
I know it, and I've heard it. I just can't remember what was in the movie.
Which quote?
About the paladin, level 8 paladin.
Oh, if that was from a movie, then I guess I suppressed it. It very well could have been. It's like something an idiot would yell in a movie anyway, so maybe I did steal it from a movie, but I don't recall.
Yeah, now that you bring that up, it does sound familiar. Like it came from like a Steve Carell movie or some shit like that. I don't know.
My buddy walked into work one day, and one of our developers, this was back with the old company that I worked with, and he walked into one of our developers. He's just like, "Hey man, how's it going today?" The guy's all dejected and down. He's like, "Well, my elf's down to 4 hit points." And we just all laughed like, he was asking him like real world, like, "What's going on? How are things? This and that." And the guy was just complete. I could totally see us being that way in cornucopias.
I
Right?
wonder if KB gets like that when he plays D&D. I wonder if KB gets all upset and shit when he gets a bad dice roll.
I bet, man. Some people don't realize like how important some of those games are, especially like WoW. That really took people's lives. You know what I mean? Like people just love playing that game. I knew people that made fun of it, started playing it, and just got sucked in. I literally avoided it intentionally because I was like, man, I got a family and shit to do. I can't afford to want to play a game all the damn time. And I probably would because it sounded like an awesome game.
Right.
So yeah, I got a coworker at work right now whose son plays Diablo. And he's like a streamer and he's super into it. And the guy at work just like every time he talks about it, he's like embarrassed and ashamed of his son. Like, oh, all he does is play that dang game. He's streaming. He's like, his brother told me he was streaming with a famous streamer, but he knows better than to tell me about that crap. I don't care. I'm like, oh my God, you're terrible.
Oh, that's funny. Shit. Yeah, well, we get involved with these games and stuff. I think that's why I never drink coffee, because I knew if I drink coffee, I would have been addicted. I stuck to Coke instead. Hey.
There you go. Yeah, that's smart. It's a balance, right? You want a game to be very captivating and to be fun and to have a release from your busy life. That's why I like to play video games. I connect with my family. I have fun. I unwind after a stressful day. And I need it to be captivating, but at the same time, like it can cause some sort of stress or grief if like you're really captivated and you're almost obsessed with the game and you can't stop wanting to play it, so like you're at work thinking about playing the game. I used to be that way as a teenager about new games or new books. I'd skip school to read a book all the time. You know what I mean? Because I just could not stop reading. So it can be bad, if something's too entertaining.
Well, that's why we have the GA channel now. I'm going to put that for Gamers Anonymous. We can go in there and talk about
Mafia Discord.
and add in the fact that the in-game currency can be traded for You
Real
know,
stuff. Yeah.
real money, that just takes it to a whole nother level.
I
Well,
worry
addiction
about
times
what
10, man.
Cornucopias is going to do to my timeline. Yeah, I get exactly like you said. I mean, it's going to exasperate it so much. Anytime a game's got like some sort of reward structure in there like that, it definitely keeps me driven to keep going. So to be able to trade it for real life money at some point in the future, like, yeah, obviously we all see the writing on the wall about how gaming's about to change, right?
What are you doing, son? I'm in here playing cornucopias. Why? Because when I'm not, I'm losing money.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Are you on my account? You better
Time is
harvest
money,
my
man.
crops.
That's a true gambler right there.
I need gas money so I can go on spring break, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Solace for spring break.
that's a true gambler. God. I'm lost for words today, man. Hectic
You
day.
are, man. You keep letting it just go dead in here, and I'm like, Stein,
Well,
jump in.
I got Seven's telling me I talk too much. Oh, he interrupted my flow.
Not when you're hosting a space, but
Oh,
it's okay.
oh, that's what it was. Oh shit. Well, the fuck with it then. I'll just keep talking. Damn it.
There you go.
I off subject. I watched a funny movie last night that I haven't seen in a while. I watched Amercin Psycho. I thought it's a hilarious movie.
Yeah, that is a weird movie.
That's all I have to say about that. It was a good movie. So old.
I watched Exorcist 56 times, and each time I watch it, it keeps getting funnier.
Right? Oh, shit, man. I don't know. What else is in the news? What else?
Well, I got to tell you, you entitled this Talking New and Upcoming Events.
Yeah, what's upcoming?
I thought you were talking about like events, like
Yeah,
other Twitter Spaces or cNFT Con or like
I knew I absolutely
events in the news. Is that right?
I absolutely knew that when I wrote that somebody's going to think events like Porn Mafia, Cornucopias events.
See, like if you said news events, I would have thought of it a little.
Well, cNFT Con.
Did you put this into Chat GPT?
I did not. I should have. It would have corrected me. It would have been like, you're an idiot.
It would have been like, it's NFT Las Vegas, dumbass.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we are not having a booth at NFT Con this year. If you guys have not heard, and the reason for that is it's very expensive this year, and I think we want to let everyone that's going not have to be concerned about working the booth, and we want the Corn Mafia crew to enjoy themselves and go see everything that the con has to offer without being obligated to sit at the booth. And that's all I have to say about that.
I like it. I think that was a good call, but
yeah, well, it's really expensive. It was like $250 the first year, last year.
Well,
and now it's 5 times more.
Like Cornucopias was obviously glued to their setup because they had the game they were hosting and stuff. But there were so many other booths that you'd walk by and they were just empty anyways because it was a small project and they wanted to be out walking around. So they're not even at their booth. You just see their signage and stuff. You know what I mean? So I totally get that. I think maybe those people also felt they probably could have saved the money and just walked around with a T-shirt on instead. So
yeah. Well, it's not cNFT Con this year, right? They rebranded it to NFT Con.
Vegas.
Yeah. So
and I think another thing is in the Mafia, we just got out of a severe bear run. We have to, what limited funds we have to be very frugal and say what's going to give us the most bang for the buck. And again, if it was the same price as last year, totally would have done it. But what'd you say? It was like 5 times as
yeah, it's like $1,200, I believe, now this year, and it was like $250 last year at the price of ADA because we paid for an ADA. So ADA was like 50 cents last year. At that time, I believe, because it was like 2 to 1 or something like that. So yeah, man. It's just really expensive, and I can see it, as supporting cornucopias by having our booth, and we wanted to be there the first year, and it was cheap enough. But we're not selling anything there either, so we're not making any money to pay for the booth. We're not like a regular NFT distributor or design team or anything like that. So we're not making any money. So we're losing money, and we don't really want to lose any money on this because we were going to have to raise the money for it. And that's a lot of money to raise.
It was one of the funnest cons I've ever been to, and I'm super excited. My biggest excitement is to see what Cornucopias has on display compared to last year, right? I mean, like last year, we got to play 2 games essentially. Yeah, they were very early in development and things like that, and they were just demos, but we were actually able to sit down and play the racing. We were able to wander around part of Solace and to sit there and go, we've now had another year, and some of the things we've seen, on the COPi cafes and the dev shorts and things like that, I just sit there and I'm like, I'm super excited to see kind of what those next steps are. And of course, all the other booths as well, don't get me wrong, but that's the main thing. Go ahead, Fryler.
I was gonna say, for me, yeah, NFT Con last year was Cornucopias Con. I mean, Cornucopias was everywhere. It was on every stage. They were the first thing you saw when you came in. They had the biggest audience at all times. I mean, everyone was so captivated by it, and it felt so amazing to be early to just such a flagship project and to be able to see what they had developed so far and put out so quickly, and it literally blew everyone away. You might have heard the naysayers on Twitter beforehand and things like that, but nobody had nothing to say in person besides, wow, look at what these guys are building. This is incredible. I can't believe they're building it here, So I'm in the same boat. I'm just super excited to go. I know that we'll represent the Corn Mafia well by just hanging out at the Cornucopias booth all day like we did last time. So
yeah,
I can't wait to see what they bring to the table this year.
We will have shirts made up again this year. Commemorative shirts, but I think we will be selling them before the con. I believe that's how we're going to do that. So you can still represent the Corn Mafia Guild and show support and have some memorabilia from us. So that's going to be good.
I minted one of those NFT con NFTs from the Corn Mafia before I was in the Mafia that year.
Oh, nice.
So I got one of those.
I got one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so that's
quick little PSA for people that have not made their reservations yet but are thinking about it. We are creeping up on 90 days out, which is usually, it's 30 days out. There's kind of, when you look at airfare, there's 2 levels where price increases often occur, and that's 30 days out and 90 days out. So those of you wanting to make your reservations before 90 days out, while flights may be a little bit cheaper, you might want to start looking over the next week or 2.
I was gonna say I'd definitely start tracking them. It's a hot science trying to track prices on flights and stuff too. But yeah, it's a great idea, Scruffy. And for those that don't know or weren't there last year, the Westgate, I think, is the best hotel to stay at if you're going to NFT Las Vegas. It's right there, pretty much connected to the convention center. And even after like walking the strip and looking at all the other hotels, like flying in, I was like, man, did we make the wrong call? Driving past all these cool hotels and stuff. But no, dude, the Westgate was the bee's knees. It's just off the strip, but it's got the tram to the strip. It's the best of all worlds. I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Now I would sit there and echo that as far as location, as far as general layout. They've got a very nice sports book. They've got a solid little poker room, things like that. Fair amenities, some good restaurants as well. I was not impressed with my room. The decor in my room looked literally like it was taken out of something from the 1970s.
Did you get the Lux room, the blue one or whatever?
I got whatever the lowest level one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't get Elvis's room?
Ones I'm sure are pretty nice, but if you're going on the cheap, do what now?
You didn't get Elvis's room?
I did not. But they did have I think they had a sign that like Elvis's son was performing or something like that.
Yeah, Elvis's brother comes there too
Brother.
and shakes people's hands. I met his brother and got a picture.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe that was it.
I didn't care, but I gave it to my mom. She
Hey.
loves Elvis.
I got a quick reminder here. Cornucopias will be representing. I got a quick reminder. Cornucopias will be presenting at the Cardano Gaming Showcase today at 5:15 UTC. 5:15 UTC. 5:15 UTC. It's a live stream on YouTube. Be sure to watch. That comes directly.
In 20 minutes is what you're saying.
I don't know what time it is UTC.
We timed this good.
I don't know. Yeah. We'll be getting off here in 5 minutes.
Wait. I think Rob didn't realize that because he just hopped out after I said 20 minutes from now.
That's funny.
He was in here and he's like, oh shit.
Oh, I gotta go. Fuck.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Thanks. Well, that came directly from the horse's mouth. 7.
That was Stein reminded, but yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I really do have things to do today. So we got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. So
you heard it. Every other time he said that, he was lying. Today,
I was just about
he really
to say,
has shit to do.
I really do have shit to do today.
Like normally I say I got shit to do.
Well, normally I do. I have things to do around here, but today I got to go pick up some cash.
I gotta do.
Got to go pick up some cash. Today is picking up cash day. I haven't picked up. I haven't picked up cash in 7 years. So today's a cash pickup day.
7 years.
Yeah, man.
That's like got some symbolism behind it, I'm sure, right?
Well, that's when I retired. So
7 years ago. Wow.
You're
still sending me an envelope of cash, right?
Yeah. It's illegal to send cash to the mail. I would have, but I don't want to break the law. So, Scruffy, final words for our listeners out there?
I love how you always make me go first on.
Well, you're the guest. You're the guest host.
Get surprised with it. And quickly say something eloquent.
Say something.
And then I sound like a monkey. I don't know.
He doesn't even know where that's going.
Yeah, no, just for being here. This is another kind of, amalgamation of about 19 different topics. But, hey, it was fun as always. And hope everybody has a great rest of their day.
Excellent. How about you, Fry Guy?
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for showing up, guys, and listening to us talk about whatever. Always appreciate you. Kaz, Kingsley, thank you guys for coming up and speaking with us. And of course, big thank you to our unofficial co-host, Scruffy. I was going to laugh if you didn't join us today, just out of spite, because it's in the title. It would have been hilarious.
Well, go ahead.
He's like, are you going to be there for it? And I'm like, as far as you know, and he said, well, because I got room in the marquee for your name. And I'm like, oh, that would be hilarious if this was the 1 week that I just didn't show. I thought about waiting for 5 or 10 minutes and hopping in late. And then I'm like, nah, I can't do
that. The thing was that I had already put it up on Twitter that, was Scruffy. And then I asked him, he's like, yeah, as far as you know. I'm like, you fucker. Come on, don't fuck with me. He's like, I'm just kidding. I'm like, oh, fuck you, man. God damn it. Get in there. So, yeah, he busted my balls on that one. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody for showing up today. And we did talk about it. I am starting to put chapters for all of you that want to go to the leaks quickly on YouTube. So I started out last. Yeah.
Did we have any leaks?
No. Just my diapers.
Yeah.
My old man diapers. They were leaking.
He literally has shit to do.
I got shit to do, man. Gotta.
That depends.
Yeah, that depends on what kind of shit you got to do. I do. I have depends to do. I mean, I got shit to do.
I didn't connect all the dots. I just threw it out there and let people make a joke themselves.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Here's a couple words.
Yeah, and on my last sentiments for the day, I did see 4 bears on my security camera the other night. I thought that was pretty cool.
Do you think that's a sign that the bear market is coming?
It could be because they were leaving.
The bear market almost.
They were leaving.
The end of the bear.
It's the end of the bear.
The bear. Yeah, they're coming out of hibernation.
That's right. Coming out of hibernation.
I think so.
All right.
I saw a bear swimming yesterday and 2 bears dancing.
Oh, nice.
So I had a dream, and 13 ravens flew by the window, and a field of grass turned dead. What does that mean? Was a plague coming?
No, you were on acid and you thought you were dreaming. I don't know. I don't know. Let's.
That was
Stein,
almost
you-
as good
Stein,
as the Martin
you have
Luther
to-
King speech.
Huh?
Yeah, so
I thought that's what he was going with it. I had a
all of my
dream.
content today from Martin Luther King.
I had a dream. I had a dream that we were going to play an outro and let it roll.
This has been a Corn Mafia Guild Twitter space with your hosts, Stein and Fryler. Please join us every Wednesday at the same time, 5 p.m. UTC. We would like to thank all of our guests for their insights and input on today's topics. We also would like to thank all of you, our listeners, for taking time out from your busy day to join us. A full audio version of this conversation will be provided on our YouTube channel. You can find out more about the Corn Mafia Guild at our website, cornmafiaguild.io. So, until next week, thank you again and have a great day.